you guys doing? Let's do it to it. Okie dokie. And go on through it. Alright, we're going to be going over a game really quick. One moment. I just wanted to check. Actually, I'll do the game first and then I'll check something. Let's see how we're doing. Perfect. Excellent. Alright. Get that streamer going. Okay, this is a game between, it's the semifinals championship of the Russian Republic, 1955. The players are, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. It's she stop Irva, and black is Sir Zahava Nova. It's I don't know how to pronounce the Russian name very well, but it's on here. You guys could see him right there. Oops, did I? Nope, no, I'm sorry. That's not the one. My bad. Okay, let's try that again. It is the semifinals. It is the semifinals championship of the Russian Republic. This is 1956. So that's why I said down there. And you got, I think this one. Let me make sure I didn't do this one already, did I? Nope, perfect. This is the correct one. The white is Yulava, and Konstantinova. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I tried my best, so I gave it a go. Okay, so we're gonna see. This is the King's Indian attack. Everybody loves the King's Indian attack. Can I say hey, hey there? A little bit of good tea in the morning, you gotta love it. Okay. White played. Oops, here we go. Gotta get back on that screen. Knight F3, knight F6, and then remember the King's Indian. You go here, castle is really fast, and then it's kind of, if you're wanting to start out with an opening that you can do really fast, get castle, get safe, and then start playing positionally. The King's Indian is your thing. But you have to remember that it's got some theory to it, so just make sure that you play the sub-sublines. Don't play the main lines, because there's some people who know a lot about the main lines. So he goes d5 here, and then the bishop fianchettos. He comes out. This is a very important move. E5 here is very, very, very important. Let me do something. 1 second. Sometimes the hair gets in the way of when I'm doing my stream, so I don't want it to. Okay, there we go. Excellent. There we go. Perfect. Okay, back into the fray. So this stops the idea of pawn pushing. So if he pushes, then that still allows the bishop to come out. So this move has a kind of a couple ideas. One idea is it allows the bishop to come out. The second idea is it allows, after, of course, castles, and allows e4. So there's some ideas of a break. So that's the cool thing. And also if he plays here, it allows e3 to be played, then taking, and of course trades happen, and that makes it so that we're better in this position. Okay. Then black goes, hey, fine, let's go all in. Let's send the team right up the middle. And then white castles, which is what the King's Indian attack is based on, is the ability to castle. Your king's safe. Now you can do a frontal attack with your pieces. Black also is 2 moves from castling. The bishop has to move and then he can castle. So you have to, that's what white's banking on for their idea here. So the bishop comes out, black's developing. The knight comes now, black is attacking, and potentially preparing to play e4, and then if pawn push, knight to e5, e2, and then potentially rerouting in. So that's an idea. Black castle. So now it's all guns blazing here because they're setting up for a humongous attack in the center here. This center is going to be a humongous explosion happening pretty soon. Get ready. Here it comes. Boom. Do you see that? That's exactly an idea that if knight takes here, you're not gonna actually. I think if the knight takes, then let me see. I just want to make sure that I put that in because I did it pre-recording to make sure I had it right. I'm just going to do a quick check. Yep, knight takes pawn. And then knight to right there, bishop. Okay, bishop. Knight there. Knight b3. We got that. Let me make sure I have this right. Excuse me on that one. Okay, there. We have that. Let's see, b. Oh no, this is the wrong variation. That's why there's a problem. Okay. I'm so glad my page got turned to the wrong thing. So we're still good. So 4, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Right. Knight takes. And then Kung-Pao, bishop takes. So what basically the knight could take, but I'm thinking the idea is d4 here. And when the knight comes back, pawn takes, and then you're going to have bishop, and then eventually this knight will fall. So that was the idea. So black's like, I want none of that. Boom, right there. So he took a pawn with his bishop, which allowed the rook to take, and now knight takes. Boom. And so black basically saying, I have a better queenside pawn structure than you do. Your king side is kind of not so well defended, and maybe later with my 2 knights after playing c5, I'll be able to maybe get something going with a queen over here, maybe a bishop here, get my 2 rooks in the center, and then Operation Knockout, or knock like what we like to say. So he plays pawn b4. This is a sclam because you're thinking, wait a second, didn't he just move Yep. But remember, the whole idea is this knight right here, this knight is a powerhouse. And if it's a powerhouse, you want to get it out of the center so that you can start your bishop thrust and then winning the pawn back. When this knight moves back, what do you think the idea behind the whole? I wanted to actually present it to you. If you're watching this pre-recording, or if you're watching it on YouTube, then when I do a pre-recording when I'm not there, I want you to be able to think, why did white play this move here? Why? I'll give you a second to think about it. Get your notepad and your board out and set it up, or if you do a digital board, pull up the digital board. Because the only way you're going to get better is by doing. So don't just watch the stream without thinking. Make sure that you're thinking while the stream's going on, because there is a reason for D5. d4. Yeah, isn't that funny? It's a reason for d4. Okay, a little bit of humor there. But of course, you're going to get to see what the idea is. He actually played here. He actually played knight e to g4, which is an interesting idea. Of course, if they had played knight back to attack this pawn, you know what the idea would be. Bishop comes out here. Pawn kicks, takes, kapow. Knight comes in here. Oops, actually can't take. Pawn would have to take. I have to delete this queen takes. A little too, as I like, too happy there. And then now knight takes here. You're threatening check and causing a lot of problems. So that's why instead of that move, they played knight to eg4 to attack this rook and basically be able to play c6 at that point to buffer or protect or make a defense of the pawn. So the rook goes back, and basically white saying I'm not afraid, or black saying I'm not afraid of this move because I always have in my back pocket c6 to protect the d5 pawn. So black just figures, excuse me, developing is huge. Queen comes up. Now the queen's preparing to get ready for a potential e4 smash. And he's just going to just basically devastate the center and allow full control on the queen side for white. And black doesn't have anything going on. White's pretty much safe. Everything's Operation Go. And so black basically goes, you know what? I'm okay with having an isolated pawn. I still have all my pieces except for one. And of course you know which one is off the board. The dark squared bishop. And so that's the whole idea here, is now white plays e6 or e3. So that the e3 pawn is going to attack the knight, making it run. The only move that it has is, oh, actually, it does. He does take. That's the interesting thing. And so if taking here, taking, and then bishop takes, and I think black would win a pawn. So the queen takes, now attacking this knight, preparing bishop. And so let's see what happens. The knight comes back and the bishop comes in. Now white's fully developed. Hooray! Look at black's uncoordinated pieces on the back rank. Do you see that? It's really, really, really interesting. So the knight comes back, trying to attack the queen, which it does. The queen slides over. Now it's attacking the knight. And then if bishop takes, pawn takes, then you actually have a little cheeky idea of either queen or rook taking. So the queen comes back, trying to give a check and potentially forking that pawn. The knight actually leaves. You're thinking, why not just grab this pawn here? You can go pawn grabbing. Yasser says that's always fun to do, but you have to also remember that there's one big explosion that could happen, and that's this. Boom! Actually, you can't do that yet. My apologies on that. It's actually bishop takes, not rook. It would be nice to do a rook, but the queen could actually take, and then it'd be a sad thing if you took with the rook. So you take with the queen first, or bishop first, then you take with the pawn, and then now you have this type of a setup. The knight's protected. You're attacking here. You're again gonna be able to play bishop takes d5 and cause a lot of headaches for black. And so that's why black didn't go down that line. After this check, then he brought his knight in. He wants to keep his pawn structure as solid for as long as they can. The knight takes, so white basically says in for a penny, in for a pound, as Andrew Martin would say. And so now they're all in at this point. White did do one thing that was interesting. I'm gonna get a drink here, and then I'll talk to you guys about it. I appreciate your patience on waiting for me and allowing me to get a sip of water. Thank you very much. White allowed black to reconnect his pawns, which is an interesting idea, and I think White's idea is that they're saying that black has an overextended e pawn because white's the one with the isolated pawn. Black and white used to both have isolated pawns. Now black has one continuous. I don't know why it won't allow me to do this. I'll just do it. One continuous pawn chain. That's one pawn chain, and then this is a pawn chain. Where white has one pawn chain, two pawn chains, and then three pawn chains. But white's also saying, I'm okay with that because I have one trump card on my side, that it's these pawns here. I have a majority on the queen side, where black has a majority on the king side, but these three pawns have a potential to stop these. Where if they were connected, it might have, like if the pawn was here, it might have been, or here, a little bit of a problem to stop the majority. But these pawns are going to work together well to do it. So that's why white goes, I better do something right away. And he just explodes with excitement. He goes kaboom, chaka laka, bam. And that's what this move is. It's like just saying take it. And he doesn't take. He plays knight here. Let's see what would happen if he took. We can. This is actually an interesting continuation here. I think that the idea would be, I think he would actually develop a rook, and if the king came here, then we would take with check. The king has basically two spots to go to. If he comes here, of course you see that there's a check there. If he comes here, you see there's a check here. And if he comes here, you now get to see one of the big ideas, which would be a queen check there. I can't believe he has got to come up. And then you bring the rook in. I think we're almost. I think he has. I think there's only two ways that he can handle this. I think blocking's one, and then he could play D. And if he tries maybe running this way, a pawn drops off the board. I don't know. I think I would probably take with the rook. And if the queen takes here, that's complete devastation after checks. Here, check. If he comes in here, you have this idea here. It comes in, check, comes, takes, and now you're basically chasing. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing it. So again, if he takes, now let's go down kind of a. Let's see what the engine is saying. Okay, it says this move here. Probably at that point then. Yeah, I'm thinking this. Yeah, that's devastating there. He takes. There. Rook comes in. Because I want to do it 100% right for you guys. Then the rook comes off the board. The queen is taking. Queen takes. Bishop comes out. Bishop takes. Rook comes. And this is an interesting move. Taking. King up. Check. King over. Takes. Knight. If taking here, you have check. King intercepts. Check. Mate. Which that's an insane continuation that the engine did. So that's really good. So now you get to see why black didn't want any of those complications at all. And he tried to keep it simple by playing knight e5, which would kick the rook back after bishop. This now bishop takes is devastating as well. This has an idea, of course. You see, if knight takes, well, he actually played this, but if knight takes, the crushing continuation is this check here. Here, I'm trying to see if they're. Let me make sure after he takes. Well, after he takes here with the knight. Yeah, so that's it. Okay. So you're wanting to bring more pieces in. If he tries to run, he can't run. Maybe bishop. Mate 1. Okay, that's mate 1. Okay, you have to block with the queen. You take. He takes. Comes in. Bishop there. Take in. Takes. Takes. Okay, there. Takes. There. Check. Taking it up. There, and of course mate. You got to see all that. That's a pretty simple continuation of the mate. So that's why, again, they can't touch that bishop. White's just like smashing and dashing black to pieces. The rook comes back. Now he's threatening an even. That's like just pain and more pain. You know what? The book didn't give this move a an exclam. I'm just trying to see if it did. Rook check. Let me make sure if are we on, we're on 19. I just want to make sure I'm right. So there, rook f6. So 20. Hold on. Oops, I'm on the wrong page here. Bishop takes pawn. He did get an exclam. I did forget to put that in. I knew that was an incredible move. To be able to sacrifice a rook is just incredible, because White's seeing that his queen and bishop is so powerful that they're willing to overcome even sacrificing a whole rook to open the position up. That's just why this was just an incredible game. And then queen takes here, queen takes pawn, bishop f5 here. The interesting thing is, I know you're thinking, what about pawn takes, right? Well, first you have a check. Okay, there. Now you bring the rook over. There's two ways. There's two ways of preventing it. There's a check here, check here. You could even be not very nice, play a mate there, or just play a mate here, and that's why they couldn't. After taking here and the queen takes, they couldn't do that. That's why they pushed on to actually stop the bishop and this nasty mate on f1. So now the bishop comes in attacking the knight. Again, reinstituting a checkmating idea. Man, this is just sad. The queen physically now has to take because of how powerful that move is. And then pawn takes. You're thinking, oh no, does white have enough material? Yes. The king is all alone. All of white's black pieces are doing nothing. And all white has to do is bring a little bitty friend in, the rook. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have a rover. You're going to have a check here. when the king comes over, then you have checkmate. That's basically what happened here. And now there's an even nicer excuse me, continuation here. If, let's just say, a black just takes here, but he didn't. I'm just going to say this is where the game stopped. So let me see. How could I put a... I'm just going to put a box there so that we know. This is where the game stopped. So we're just going to continue onward here. Then you have the I call it the chainsaw. Boom, and then kabam. There's checkmate. So he can't take there. So let's see if maybe knight g6 here. But I still think that again loses to queen check. If king up, then you have queen rook there, and if rook slides over, of course you grab it. So there's no way to stop that. And then of course if bishop, let's come back here. If bishop comes trying to stop it, you have bishop there, and it's just pain and more pain. So you can't prevent this. Well, maybe you can try to stop it with knight taking, but then I'm thinking we don't want to check. You probably just want to take at this point. Then after bishop takes, you still have rook takes. You still have the initial threat of g6, and if he moves back, then you have mate there, or you have mate here. Either mates work, and so that's why it's such a devastating continuation at this point here. There's really nothing that black could do. Every single move that they make either loses material, drops material. Maybe, no, you can't even play this. So I was thinking of that, because then this actually does. If you played here, this is even worse. That's a mate 1. Just trying to figure out if there's really anything. Maybe knight there, but I think we, excuse me, I think we already went down that line, so that line's done. Let me see, is there anything else? Maybe bishop here. Check. Nope, you still have that mate, so boy. There's no way to stop after this move there's no way to stop the mates that are coming in. So black actually resigned here. So we'll take a second and we'll do one of our war game things. And then we'll get back in and set up another one. Okay, dokie. Now we're going to load up our one. There we go. Yeah, I'm under Don Zhao, but he's trying to take places, but he's just not being able to. Let's see if we can spy on the land. Let's see over here. We'll do that there, bring information back. Let's see if we can do some research. Let's see. What is good? They allowed me to do research. I think we'll do good on this one. He decided to fight. Let's see what happens here. We'll get to see if they actually win this. They usually don't win, but they might win this time. Nope. This guy's spot is like in a swampy area, so it takes forever to get there, and so that's why they can't really win unless they allow us to fight for them. then we know how to beat these guys. So the remain off does now withdraws to. Okay, let's see how our factory's doing. Let's do it. 7, perfect. We're doing research. Yes. Seven, perfect. Oops. No. There we go. Let's see, that would be two. We could do 3 of these. One there. And then factory here. Perfect. Now we'll talk to this guy one more time. See if we can't build up and get him to become part of the empire. Ooh, a freeze. That must be winter. Let's see how we're doing here. We'll set our clock so that we do it for 4 minutes. Don's now decides to attack. Oh, so let's see. I'll join in the attack. Perfect. There we go. So he's moving in. He's going to probably try to take these smaller places. You see how light blue and dark and red and purple have so much land there? He can't really take those yet until he has other stuff going on. Let's see here. I got promoted to level 6. Excellent. I get 1 privilege. Sweet. For getting promoted. Let's save and see what we want to do for our one thing for being promoted. Let's see. I think we should march. Let's see about if we have enough for a coup. Got 2 officers. But I think we should march. Let's do it. If we take this, I mean, this might soften up the center of the areas here. Go, go, go. There we go. my turn to move. There we go. Moving in for the attack. They're probably inside their wall because we have like 50,000 versus their 18. So we'll get to see if that... There we go. Uh-oh. Triggered a trap. No. One's down. Excellent. They're all calm. Let's come on over here. Hopefully they don't trigger another trap. Oh, they're at the gate. Interesting. He might be confused. Hopefully not. I can't wait to use my berserk. I've been improving it, so... Excellent. Whoa, 1100 to 7. Wow. 1,600. Okay. This should be interesting. 1,400. Oh, whoa. There we go. We're giving him a volley. Give him a volley. I want to get in the fight. Even if I lose a little bit of soldiers. Ambush. Let's do it. Ah, missed. No, not my guys are... I'm on... There we go. Come on, let's let it fly. There we go, we got him. There we go, 1,400, got him. That's pretty cool. Come on. might be able to capture one more guy. Attack. Boom. I captured 3 guys. Hooray! Victorious. Maybe I'll get another privilege for winning. Hire, hire, perfect hire, all of them. There we go. They're trying to attack him again. We gotta save it here. And we got another one. Let's see, we'll probably do research if they allow us to. Oh, patrol, that's not bad. I would do good on patrol. Pause here. Let's save it and there we go. Perfect. We'll do some chess puzzles here on chess.com. Okie dokie. Here, there. So the pen, so. I mess here. Trying to see. Oh, I see. Here, if here, then no, I can't because I was gonna play that, but the bishop here. There we go. Took a second there. Think about it. I can win material here. There we go, we got that material going. Here, there, oh, I can't play there because this, let's see. Here. Ooh, actually, it's this move here that does me. There we go. So check. Actually, wait a second. Just wait a second. Check here. King comes over, then you win the queen. Okay, that's it. And then you win the queen. Now we're exchange up. Beautiful. Let's see, what do we got here? See, winning that doesn't matter because he could play here, and then there's no way to stop the queening. So our only hope is actually to play this move here, because then it forces a mate. See here, here, and this is the move here. Boom, brilliant. And then, yeah, this is just devastating, so let's keep going. Here, there, queen comes up, no way to stop that. There we go. Okay, moves. Rook takes, queen takes, and we're winning, winning, winning. Trying to figure out if there's a way so close to queening. We don't want to take here because of taking here, and then when the king moves, they actually win our rook. So it has to do with something. I'm just seeing if there's any checks there. I think this is the move here. Yeah. Because you have to look to make sure that there's no checks. This is a devastating one. There we go. Let's keep pushing. Push, push, push. We take here first. We take here. Then we grab this rook. Perfect. 130. Now here, pawn takes. Now you're threatening that. Bam. That was a brilliant continuation. Congrats, my team. You guys are doing wonderful. Trying to see if checking comes forward. Everything has to be forcing, so I'm trying to see if there's... See if pawn here, king there, check, king takes, check. If checking here, king up. This has to be the first continuation. Oh, this is the mate here. There we go. I'm so glad we took a second to take a look at it. Congrats on that. Okay. This move. That's big. Let's keep going. Let's see here, there, and that. There we go. We're doing good so far, so good. There you go, another brilliant continuation. Let's keep hammering away at this. Go, go, go. This wins a queen here. Take here, take there, take there. We're doing good. So far, so good again. Let's see if we take here, take here, take here. And we're actually up a whole piece at that point. One moment. Let's take a look again here. Let's see. Here. Check. And that's the idea of winning here, and we actually win the material. We're doing good. Right there. That's a brilliant continuation. And mate. Let's just keep pounding away. There's another kaboom. Come on. There we go. There. So if we play here, he stops. So we can't do that. Here, here. Ah, there it is. This is it right here. Take in, darn, that was a close one. We'll have to re-institute doing them again. Come on, come on, come on. Taking. There we go. Let's do it. Ah, okay. Keep going. Go, go, go. This one's on rook. Okay. Let's do this thing. There you go. We go up a whole piece. There you go. Come on, come on. Let's do it, do it. There it is. Takes here. There you go. Go up in exchange. There we go. Bam. There we go. Take in. There we go. Okay. There we go. Taking it. Boom. Come on. Drat. There we go. I think we'll probably stop right here and then pick up later in the afternoon a stream. Okay, I wanted to thank you all for logging on and participating. Remember what you do, the Team Chess Scratcher motto of hanging up your coats, hanging up your hats, sitting down, and doing what most say is impossible, Team Chess Scratcher does. Remember what Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus, and I say God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chess Scratcher TV. Bye-bye, my friends, and keep chess crunching. Hoorah.